A triple crown was originally a phrase coined from horse racing, used to refer to the three biggest races of the year. Rivals can be said to have its own triple crown, with three major events: Genesis, Riptide, and Heatwave. Hailing from the state of Arizona, home to one of the largest Rivals local scenes, Heatwave makes the distinction of being the largest grassroots event of the year. Top-level players from all around North America are converging next weekend into the city of Phoenix, and today we'll be putting a few of those players under a microscope, in hopes of making some healthy predictions for the upcoming event. My name is Wisely from Stats of Aether, and you're watching the Rivals Preview.
Penguin to be able to put himself back on the board, but this is a
solid starter. That's all he needs, and that is going to be it. Soul Rifle sends CakeAssault to loser.
Oh man, this is like the
Protagify represents a very particular style that we see very little in high-level Rivals. A zoner from Hawaii who's not known just for one successful time out in a competitive event, but also for remarkable results given their rare attendance. Protagify's last event was Double Down, where they placed 5th despite losing in pools to Darai, picking up wins on Chompers and SBS. Disregarding a DQ from Genesis 8 due to personal reasons, their next most recent event was Heatwave 4, where they placed 7th, upsetting Sparx and putting up close fights with both Zeebee and Plastic Dinos. We're not necessarily expecting them to make it quite as far this time, but the Lightning Goat rarely misses the chance to surprise us. Speaking of rare attendance, Heatwave will see the return of old-school legendary Etalus Bullets. As the premier lauded best Etalus of the West Coast makes his entrance back into high-level competition, we feel it's important to remind everyone of what he's been capable of in the past. Bullet's last RCS offline major was back in 2018, where he placed 5th at Don't Park on the Grass. Since then, he's attended the Grassroots League Crest, where he placed 7th, and 2 firsts at Battle of BC and Vancouver Battle Royale, where he notably beat Dolphinberg. It's hard to tell just how Bullets will stack up against the other top seeds, but considering his history, it might be time for another deep Etalus run. Although polar bears have made quite a home in Canada, you may be surprised to see them a little further south. Chompers found a respectable 17th at Riptide, the first event of the season he made it to. But we can't forget to bring him up for one big reason. He absolutely dominates his home state of Arizona. Chompers has 10 local victories in the last 6 months, getting wins over players like Dinos, SBS, and Sawtooth. It would be fair to call him the reigning king of AZrivals, which is impressive, given that he's facing off against the most stacked active region in the world. HKP finds his way to Heatwave, coming off of an amazing run at Riptide this year, where after losing to CakeAssault, he found himself crashing through SBS, Sparx, and Denzello to clinch a 9th place with a loss to Kusi. With another 2 months of preparation and fire to improve, who knows how far he'll go this time. Giga has long been poking and prodding at the heels of top seeds at many tournaments, stretching back from before even this season. But since his swap to Hodan and his subsequent Penguin win at Taps, it seemed like he was finally on his way to the summit. Unfortunately, after a tough loss to Cork at Riptide and a heartbreaker Game 5 with MSB, Giga's been on a razor's edge away from breaking into top 8 at a major. Could we see him make the huge upset at the AZ Premier event? In a similarly stymied spot at Riptide, Darai has been extremely active this season, attending 6 offline events so far that count for rankings. He scored lows of 17th at Riptide and 9th at Taps and Gommel, but paired with solid results like 5th at Double Down, beating Protagify, Ahnyte, and Y. Not only that, but he now belongs to an exclusive, illustrious group of offline tournament champions this season by winning Back in Blood. He accomplished this feat by clinching an 8-game grand finals over Elkies, another top 10 contender for the season. We look forward to seeing Darai carry forward his momentum in the Heatwave bracket. With all 3 of the top Kragg mains in attendance, we're going to cover them all at once, so get ready. First, we've got Zeebee, going into this event as the 2nd seed, after coming off of 2 second places this season. As he's made it known, however, he hasn't been too happy with the recent changes to Kragg's Nair, so don't be surprised to see his other characters make a little bit more of an appearance in the spotlight. While the Malo has been a strong counterpick for certain players, will there be enough firepower in his arsenal to make it to Grands again? Next, we've got Cheesy Potato. Likely using solo Kragg, she's expected to clinch a top 8 pretty easily, especially with Kragg's worst player to face, Kusi, being absent. We did see her struggle with a certain Absa main at Big House though, and while she's likely to take it over people seated below her, her upsets have been few and far between. Finding a top 3 at the Premier Tournament would be incredibly huge for her resume, since her highest placing to date is a 4th at Double Down. And finally, MSB, the most devoted Beetle enjoyer. With 7 events under his belt, MSB is the most traveled Kragg main, and possibly the most traveled player this season. Missing 4 of those top 8s by a small margin, right now it's always a toss-up between seeing a great MSB run or another 9th place. Despite that, MSB is still a menace for anyone in this path. We'll see if he can set the record straight for this event and show us all what he's made of. Tapscott's season has had its up and downs so far, but with his recent performance at Big House, it seems that this bird's stock is soaring high. Taking down MSB and Uda at his last event, along with a nail-biter set versus Penguin, it seems like his chances are looking good for a big run this weekend. Will we see him place a seed or fly higher than ever before? Plastic Dinos shocked the competition at Riptide this year, running Cake close in 5 games, but he hasn't been tested quite as much at Majors as the rest of our top seeds. With a strong showing over MSB at Riptide and a subsequent loss to Cake and Elkies, Dinos has the chance here to prove that his set with the world #1 wasn't a fluke, and hopefully show some development in the more shaky matchups. We look forward to seeing his explosive combos and tricky movement on the stage this weekend. Given that Cheesy and MSB constitute a quarter of the top 8 seeds, we expect Akashi to have a strong chance of shooting into the top 6 in this event, but only if he can find his way into the top 12 first. Barring a potential early loss, like his 25th at Riptide, Akashi has generally performed very well in the top bracket, placing 5th at Cost, 4th at Taps, and his recent 4th at Big House. Coming off of a win on Penguin, he's not yet reached his predecessor's peaks or consistency, but we don't see anyone else close behind him. Although Soul Rifle hasn't been able to attend many majors lately, it seems like his doubles partner Y has picked up right where he left off. Beating Zeebee and Penguin one after another like he did at Big House is a feat only shared by Soul Rifle and CakeAssault, the #1 and 2 seeds of the season so far. With his worst loss of this season being to Darai, we expect it to be pretty surprising for him to miss top 8 at Heatwave. Besides that, we're excited to see if he can pull off another miracle and even find a Cake win. Seggo beat Zaro twice at Cost and hasn't been seen offline since, committing more to NASB than Rivals this season. Historically, his willingness to try out new strategies has paid off to guarantee him a top 4 finish, even at the largest of events. This time, however, he's likely seeded 3rd, and to outplace his seed, he'll have to upset one of the 2 most consistent players of this season, twice. Will he make an unsurprising surprise run, or will he squeeze his way into the top 4 as usual? Honestly, what's even left to say about CakeAssault? With 10 major wins this year already, he's the clear favorite to win Heatwave. On top of that, some of his biggest competition this season, players like Penguin and Soul Rifle, are unable to attend. It'll be up to the rest of the field to crack the Cake equation this weekend. Or instead, Cake may just notch out another tournament win to add to his already historic season. If you want to catch all the action at Heatwave next weekend, make sure to check out AZrivals of Aether on Twitch, where they'll be streaming everything from pools all the way up to grand finals. And hey, if you like this video, make sure to leave a like and subscribe to the channel. I've been Wisely, and thanks for watching.